What was the moment you became the villain in everyone else's eyes? One day, my kids came home and told me flat out they weren't going back to their mom's house. We had a 50-50 custody split, but they were terrified. I knelt down, looked them in the eyes, and asked, "Hey, what's going on? Did mommy say something?" That's when they told me. They said mommy's new boyfriend was making them do weird stuff and told them they'd be in big trouble if they ever mentioned it. When they finally explained what weird meant, my heart didn't just break, it stopped. This guy was making my kids stand in front of a camera and strip down to their underwear. He'd snap photos, pay them off with some candy, and disappear back into his room. At first, they were just happy about the treats, but kids aren't stupid. They knew something was wrong. When my daughter finally told him no, he slapped her across the face. They ran to their mom, crying, telling her everything. But instead of protecting them, she lost it on them. She told them they were just jealous of her happiness and trying to ruin her new relationship. She was convinced I had brainwashed them into making up some sick story. I was seeing red, but I tried to do it the right way. I called the cops. But of course, the deputy who showed up was my ex-wife's brother-in-law. He looked me right in the face and repeated the same garbage. Stop being a jealous ex and stop telling disgusting lies. I realized right then that nobody was coming to save my kids. It was just me. I dropped the kids off at my parents' place and made a call. I was a regular at a local dive bar and had a couple of friends who were ex-cons, solid guys who knew how the world actually worked. They didn't ask questions, they just showed up. We waited for my ex to head to work, then we breached the house. The boyfriend was there, lounging around like the parasite he was. He tried to scream, but we shut that down real quick. My plan was simple: find the photos, delete the digital trail, and scare him so bad he'd leave the state. But then he started talking. It wasn't just for him. He confessed he had a client list. He was selling these photos to other creeps online for top dollar. He had a stack of prints ready to be mailed out in 48 hours. If my kids hadn't been brave enough to speak up that morning, those photos would have been gone, distributed forever. I just snapped. Everything went black. I had brass knuckles on, and I didn't stop swinging until my friends literally had to peel me off of him. As I sat there on the floor, the reality hit me. I was going to prison. And if I went to prison, my kids would go back to their mother, and whoever the next guy was. I started to break down. That's when one of my friends looked at the other and said, "Take him home. I've been to the joint before. I can handle another round." I looked at him, a man the world called a criminal, and I realized he was the only hero in the room. I just nodded, walked out, and never looked back.